So is Super Mario Party Jamboree the best Super Mario Party game in a long time? Spoiler alert, yeah, it is. And I'm going to explain why here in this review. Guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. If you do enjoy this one, be sure to consider leaving it a like. Really helps with the channel. Subscribe for more. Do a variety of Nintendo-based content. If you don't like it, that's completely fine as well. Let me know what you dislike, though, so I can improve the content in the future. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into this. As you may have seen on the channel, I've been posting a lot of Super Mario Party Jamboree, but not with any commentary because I felt like it wasn't really needed besides the actual guides that we have done. So I went through pretty much every single thing that is in the game. I don't know how many hours I spent in the game. I know that within the first like 36 hours, I had already spent maybe like 14 hours somehow in the game, which is crazy. I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time in this game. I've played every single mode. I've tried different variations of different things in the game. Now listen, I'm going to do my very best to remember everything that's in here. Obviously, I've created videos on pretty much every single thing that's in the game. But if there's something I forget that you're wondering about, please do let me know in the comments below. Because like I said, there is a lot in this game. And that in and of itself is telling, right? Super Mario Party, before this one, before Jamboree, was a pretty solid game. It seemed like they were kind of starting to head back in the right direction. It kind of felt like it was maybe a testing grounds, if you will. But it was a little bit light on content. You know, obviously since the GameCube and the N64 days, we've kind of been hit or miss a lot of the time, I feel like anyways, with Mario Party games. And just, you know, finally when we got to the Switch, we started getting a little bit more of a footing, I feel like. And then, like I said, the last Super Mario Party game I think was pretty solid, but it was a game that I felt like was not justified for its full price tag. This game, however, I feel like way more than what that Mario Party was justifies the price tag that, you know, they're asking for this game. So basically in the game, you have your standard Mario Party, and in your standard Mario Party, you have 7 different maps, or boards rather, I guess you would call them. 2 of them are returning maps that or boards again, which have been sort of like remastered, remade, which is Western Land and Mario's Rainbow, what was it called? Mario's Rainbow Castle, I believe is what it was called. And we got a few other ones in here as well. We got a tropical one, you know, we got, you know, one that's based on Bowser and whatnot. You know, we got your typical kind of style, you know, boards. The one thing I am a little bit disappointed about is I love when they kind of implement like a spooky sort of style board. And especially with this game coming out in October, you'd be surprised that, you know, they didn't have that kind of board. Now, obviously they did in the previous Mario Party, which, you know, some have said maybe that's why it wasn't in here. That's probably my only complaint. 7 boards. A lot better than what we had in the previous Mario Party, which I believe, if I recall correctly, was like 4. I would still like to have seen a little bit more, maybe like 1 more board, maybe like 8 would be the sweet spot, but maybe I'm being a little bit greedy. I'll be honest. Beyond that, once you've played at least one time in Mario Party, you unlock this other mode called Pro Rules. Now, Pro Rules, I'm not going to spend too much time going into the nitty-gritty of it because, like I said, we have a lot to cover in this video. But basically, it's a little bit more, I guess, it's a little bit different. So, for example, you get to vote for which minigame you want instead of it being completely RNG. And sort of like how it works in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it'll sort of kind of cycle through, you know, and randomly, it'll randomly cycle through the ones that were picked. So if every single person picks the exact same one, well, then you're getting at least the minigame that everybody wants. So that's kind of how it works there. Also, for example, Boo, if you go to a Boo space, he cannot steal a star from anybody, but the coins you can still steal, but the coins are set to like 15 every single time. They're locked to 15. So there's just a few different rules that change. It makes it a little bit more interesting. You still have, obviously, the mini games and all that as well. It's a lot easier to get coins, I feel like, and it's a lot easier to get stars. So it's just a really cool aspect. Then before we go into the rest of the game, I do want to talk about Party Plaza really quick, because Party Plaza, you can see leaderboards, online leaderboards, which is really, really cool. Yes, there's better online in this game than I think there has been in any Mario Party game ever. And so you can see leaderboards, which is really cool. There's some mini games that you can do kind of free for all with, and there's like endless modes where it's like, how long can you survive? Again, only certain mini games obviously are going to be timed mini games, because some of them are just like, you know, get from point A to point B, or do this or do that, and then you're done. But the ones that are kind of like survival, I guess, if you will, those ones, you know, are going to have different kinds of leaderboards where it's like kind of timed. How long can you survive in this sort of game, right? If that makes sense. So it's cool to see the online leaderboards there. And then of course, there's also this other category that shows achievements. So there's basically something that looks almost like a battle pass. It's not a battle pass. It's nothing like that, but it gives you that kind of like idea. There's 50 levels, and once you get through the 50 levels, that's it. It's not something like online battle pass. It's just baked into the game, kind of base game. Once you get 50, that's it. Getting up to level 50, basically will unlock the extra boards, different things like that as well. There's 2 secret characters you can also unlock in the game. I made a guide for that, but I'm not going to spoil that. But anyways, you can unlock a bunch of different stuff. And then within the party plaza, there's also the ability to purchase different things like extra reactions and stickers and musics, kind of like soundtracks and whatever. All these different things. It just gives you more things to kind of grind for to unlock. And to unlock those, you basically get these points. Whatever you do in the game, whether you're playing mini games, or whether you're playing Mario Party or any of the other modes which we're about to talk about, you're going to basically be unlocking these points. There's kind of like this point system which you could kind of, spend on all this stuff. But the level system is based on your achievements. There's achievements in the game. A lot of people have wanted Nintendo to create kind of like an achievement sort of like trophy system, kind of like, their competitors have, for years. But they, instead of actually having that in system, they did that in this game. So there's a bunch of different achievements that you can kind of grind for to unlock, all these different achievements. One achievement will unlock one level in that 50 level kind of thing that I told you about. But once you get to level 50, there's no other reason to unlock the achievements per se. Not that I know of. I'll be honest, that's the one thing I haven't done in the game yet, which is unlocking all the achievements, because there's a lot of them, but I am working on it. So if there's anything you unlock at the end of there, or if you guys know, let us know in the comment section below. Anyways, it's just another little thing to kind of grind for and make it a little bit more fun. Now let's talk about all the other modes, because there are a lot of other modes. I was talking about mini games. There is a place called Minigame Bay, and there's different ways, different kind of modes in there. There's a boss rush mode where you can go through all the different boss fights and whatnot. Now the boss fights are actually linked to a story mode, which again we're going to talk about in just a second here. Well, I won't spoil any kind of the story, I guess you will. It's not really deep story, but we'll get there. So beyond the minigame bay, there's like a free play if you just want to go through the minigames. There's about, I think, 124, if I remember, minigames in the game. Then there's other kind of things. There's like daily challenges where every single day there's kind of like 3 categories that kind of rotate. And each category has 3 mini games, and it's just something, to kind of go through. It might be a category, might be like, has to do with like winter or snowy kind of, mini games. So it'll be like specifically anything has to do with like, ice or snow or whatever like that. It could be, mini games are focused on 2v2s or 1v3s or different things like that. So just give you kind of an idea. And again, there's kind of different categories there. There is one particular mode though in the minigame bay that has to do with just going against random people online. It's 4-player and you're just playing a single minigame. And when you do that, there's actually ranks. So think about like kind of like Nintendo Switch Sports, if you guys have played that, how there's kind of a ranking system where if you win mini games or you do well, there's, you go from like rank D all the way to like S tier and whatnot, which is just kind of cool that there's like, there is that mode. My only complaint there is that like once you've finished a mini game, it takes quite a tedious task to get into another one, because you have to research for people and yada yada. On the flip side, while you're waiting, it does allow you to kind of hang out and play some random mini game against AI. So there is that. Moving on from that, I don't want to spend too much time like I said on each of these modes. There is a mode called Party Planner Trek, and that's basically your story mode. I'm calling it story mode. It's not labeled as such, but basically the whole idea is that you're trying to get ready for the Mario Party, right? So you're going through all of the boards, all the main boards, I'll say, because you're not going through the bonus board. So I think there was like, you went through 4 or 5 of the boards, and like I said, there's 7 total. So you're going through a few of the boards, and there's a few different objectives to do. It could be like, you go talk to one character on the board, and again, you don't have to roll the dice or anything, you just move around freely. You go talk to one character, and they might want you to do a mini game, and you collect kind of like these star kind of tokens, I guess, if you will, these star bits, I think they were called. And it's just cool. It's just a different way to play Mario Party. And you're, like I said, you're doing mini games, but then on the board itself, you might talk to one character, be like, hey, go ask this character to bring me an apple or something, or go find a tree branch somewhere on the board. And so you just got to do little things like that. So it's just, like I said, it's a cool mode. Is it super in-depth and revolutionary? Not necessarily, but I did have a lot of fun with it. Again, if you want to see what that's all about, I have all the gameplay for all of these different things up on the channel. Check them out. Beyond that, there's another mode that I really liked called Rhythm Kitchen. It's all of these rhythm games that are basically motion. So there's a lot of different motion games in mini games in Super Mario Party Jamboree. Not all of them are motion, of course, but there are, you know, a number of motion ones, and Rhythm Kitchen is all motion ones. So it could be like, the whole idea is like you're just preparing food, right? So it could be like swinging your Joy-Con to chop up some fruit or something, or it could be like stirring or kind of stirring your Joy-Con to whisk up some sort of like whipped cream kind of thing for a cake. Different things like that. It's actually really fun. I do enjoy it a lot, and it's all based on rhythm. So there's like music going on, and you know, you just kind of have that like sort of upbeat music kind of going. So again, a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that mode. Then we have Toad's Item Factory, and there's basically 10 different areas that each have 3 levels. So basically 30 levels total. And it's kind of like it kind of reminds me of Snipper Clips a little bit, but not quite. There's basically going to be a ball, and you have to work with a teammate. So it's going to be a 2-player mode, which I believe you can play with the AI, but I played with my son. Again, it's all up on the channel. Really fun mode, man. I love it. And you got to solve these puzzles, right? One person's got to maybe, like, you got to tilt something to make the ball slide, and the other person's got to catch it. And then maybe you have like a fan you got to activate, or like there's like cannons you got to get the ball inside of, and then you got to rotate the cannon to shoot it and bounce it off certain directions. You got to get the ball to the end goal. Really fun. I don't know how really to explain it beyond that, but this mode was a blast, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we have Paratroopa Flight School, which is all based on like having basically 2 Joy-Cons, and it's basically Mario with paratrooper wings, and you know, you kind of flap the wings and whatnot. It's interesting. It's very tiring, I'll tell you that, man, because it's like you're constantly like flapping your arms and whatnot. So, you know, maybe I'm just old. I don't know. But anyways, the point is, it's a lot of fun. There's a free kind of mode where you just kind of go around the level. It's not super massive or anything like that. There's also a mode, it's called like Taxi or whatever, where you basically work either with an AI or another real player, and you gotta basically carefully fly different people in a basket to their location. And that one's a little bit tricky. And so yeah, and then there's another mode where you just gotta work against or battle against someone else, where you're kind of, you know, trying to collect as many I forget what they're called, the little flying insects. I'm drawing a blank on what they're called. I'm sorry. Like I'm drawing a blank. But anyways, you got to collect as many of those as you can before the other person, and you can try to steal them from each other. So a couple different interesting modes there, within that little mode, I guess, or different things to do within that mode rather. So it was cool. It wasn't my favorite mode. It's probably my least favorite out of all of them, I'll be honest. And then my second least favorite is Bowser Kaboom Squad. It's fun. The idea is I think it's like 20 players that are going, or was it 8? No, I think it might be actually 8. This one's 8 players. And then you're going kind of basically trying to, there's like an imposter Bowser that's roaming the map, and you're trying to go get these bombs out of these boxes that drop. You gotta smash the boxes, and then you gotta get these bombs and load them up in the cannon, and every time there's 20 bombs in there, it shoots it at Bowser, and you basically, it's like a little mini boss fight, I guess you could say. And then after, there's basically like a few different rounds, and after each round there's sort of like a mini game that you're trying to, the better you do in the mini game, the better items you can get from it. And then you can use these items in there, like a speed boost kind of platform that you could put on the ground, or, it could be like a hammer. So then the hammer, breaks these boxes a little bit quicker, because the boxes do take a little bit to break. So it is fun at first, but it also feels like it can get a little bit tedious at times, I'll be honest. So not my favorite mode either, but it is fun, and it's something that's different. Like I said, I'm not going to complain, because, there is fun to be had in this mode as well. Then we have, I don't even know how to say it, Koopa-thlon, or something like that. Basically, it's like this, it's like, imagine like a racetrack with a bunch of different spaces around it, and all you're going to be doing is cycling through the same 3 mini games again and again. But these are special mini games that you're not going to see in the Mario Party mode. At least I haven't encountered them in the Mario Party mode, and I played Mario Party mode for a number of hours, probably like at least 10 hours just in there. So anyways, there's all these different special modes, cycles through 3 modes that get harder and harder every single round, and you got to basically, it's modes that you got to collect as many coins as you can. And every coin you collect moves your character 1 space, and you got to do like a lap around the track, if you will. You could do like, I think the minimum is maybe like a 3 lap you know, run a 5 lap or 7 lap. I think it might go up to actually up to 10 laps as well. And so it's a cool mode. It's interesting, and it is pretty fun. Like I said, this one could get a little bit tedious as well, but it's something different to do, and there is a lot of fun to be had in there as well. And then that's pretty much it. Like I said, there's the story mode. So basically, all in all, we got the Mario Party mode, we got Toad's Item Factory, Paratrooper Flight School, Bowser Kaboom Squad, Koopathon, Minigame Bay, Party Planner Trek, which is basically story mode, and then just the Party Plaza, which is a few things to kind of do around there, but not actually, you know, games or anything like that. Lots to do in this game. Like I said, you got the achievements, you got the different point system. There's just so much in this game. It's unbelievable. And then of course the music and the visuals are just an absolute joy as per usual. There's a huge roster of characters to choose from. Like I said, there's 2 characters that you can unlock. They're very easy to unlock once you like understand how to unlock them. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but pretty easy to unlock. So I mean, this game just has so much more to offer than we've had in previous years. The mini games, in terms of like, you know, the list of the mini games, there's a few mini games in there that I found really annoying and tedious. Like there's one, basically there's 5 keys that you have to choose from, and then 3 gates. And so there's so many, like, multiple different combinations that it could be, and it's so RNG. It's just, I don't know, there's like, it's just I mean, a lot of mini games are RNG, but this one is just annoyingly RNG. It makes no sense as a mini game. But anyway, so there's a few handful of mini games that I was like, I don't know about that one. So I feel like there could have been maybe a few more mini games as well. Yeah, 120 something I said is a good amount, but like I said, it felt like there could be maybe a few more really solid ones. But like I said, there's some other mini games that you're gonna come across throughout the different modes as well. But I think that kind of factors into the 120 something. So if you play just Mario Party mode, you're not going to get just 120 plus mini games. The last thing I do got to mention, I know this guide review has been extremely long because again, there's a lot of content in here. I want to really explain to you guys what's in here. It's a review, and I want to also let you guys know what's in here and give you my thoughts. Mario Party mode, they introduce Jamboree player. So random times, every like few modes or something. I think it's pretty RNG if I remember correctly. I can't remember if it's like at a set turn, but after every so many turns, there's going to be this random Jamboree buddy that shows up on the map. It's basically a character, and there's like, I think maybe 10 different Jamboree buddies that it could be. And so what's going to happen there is whoever passes the Jamboree buddy is going to trigger a mini game that's based on that Jamboree buddy. So you're never going to get that mini game any other way. And then you're going to basically, it's like sort of like a gauntlet style kind of thing where you have to go through, like for example, if you get Mario, there's 3 different mini games you go through that are all based on Mario. And so you go through these mini games, and whoever has the most points at the end gets that Jamboree buddy. But whoever landed on the Jamboree buddy space, or passed him, I guess first rather, you don't have to land on the space, but you just have to pass him. Whoever passed by the space and activated the mini game, what's going to happen is they're going to get a little bit of an advantage. So they might start with like 3 points or something, right? It's not, you know, game breaking, but they do get a little bit of a bump. And then after that, once you have him, he lasts for 3 full turns, or her, because you can also get like Rosalina, and I think you can get Princess Peach, if I remember correctly, and I think Daisy's another one. So there's a bunch, Donkey Kong. So if another player passes you, they don't have to land on your board or on your space, but if they just pass you, they will basically steal the Jamboree buddy. So do keep that in mind. But when you have the Jamboree buddy, everything's doubled. So if you go to like an item shop, it'll let you buy 2 items, not for the price of 1. Unfortunately, you still have to pay for the price of 2 items, but you can buy 2 items. Same thing if you land at a star space, you can buy 2 stars. If you land on a blue space and you get coins, you'll get double the coins. Same thing if you land on a red space, you're going to lose double the coins. So it's just nice, and it's a really cool way to kind of shake things up and shake the formula up. In terms of like the difficulty of the different maps, it ranges from like 1 star to obviously 5 star, many different difficulties and a little bit in between in the map. And in the boards, rather, I keep calling them maps. Some very unique concepts, right? We got one that's in a mall. We got one that's literally on a racetrack, and you're in a race car. So many different unique kind of things going on here, and it just really feels good. Like I said, I think in terms of gameplay, it's a lot better than we've had in the past few years. Maps obviously boards again are subjective, so everybody's gonna have a little bit of different opinion there. But yeah, just do keep that in mind. So there's a lot to offer in this game. It's a really, really, really good game. I have a few gripes with it. Like I said, you know, some of the mini games I'm like, I do, you know, maybe I'm just being greedy. I do wish there was at least maybe one extra board. But like I said, you know, having the ability to play online as well. I forgot to mention, like Koopathon, or how do we pronounce it, is a 20-player mode. You can play that online. Same thing with Bowser Kaboom Squad. You know, some of the mini game stuff you could play online. So it's just really, really fun and really interesting. I don't think you can play the normal Mario Party mode on... No, actually you can. Yeah, sorry, you can. You can play the normal Mario Party mode, because when you go into it, it asks you, do you want to play locally or do you want to play online? So everything, there's so much online. You like, the online capabilities people have been asking for ages are just, they've finally implemented, right? You can actually play with people online, whether it's the Mario Party, you know, just normal boards, or some of the other modes as well. So much online to actually be had, plus the leaderboards, you know, they've definitely answered in that category as well. So like I said, it's an amazing game. You know, it could be a little bit better yet, in my opinion, but it is one of the best Mario Party experiences in a long time. And for that reason, finally, I must give you my review score, which I'm going to give this, I think, a solid 9.5 out of 10. It is a must play. If you loved Mario Party back in the day, if you've never played Mario Party, if you've loved the recent Mario Parties, wherever you stand, whether you've never played it or not, I think it's the must have for any Switch owner. It's just such a fun game. It's such a good time. I love it. I play it a lot with my family, my wife, and my kids. It's just so much fun. I have fun playing it, obviously, even by myself. It's good in so many different, you know, scenarios and in different ways. So 9.5 out of 10 is my score. But if you guys have played this game, what would you rate it? Would you rate it higher, lower? Do you think I'm being too generous with it? What are your pros and cons? What do you like and dislike? And if you have any questions, leave them down for me down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. But again, I think this game is really, really, really good, and I've had an absolute blast with it. And I'm sure, Lord willing, I'll have a lot more fun times and memories made with this game as well. Stay tuned for more. Check out all the gameplay, the abundance of gameplay that I have for Super Mario Party Jamboree here on the channel. And I hope you enjoyed this one. Till the next one, game on. See you guys later.